Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Talking Shop podcast. I am Josh from Grand Slam with beautifully airbrush filtered skin, thanks to StreamYard, along with Michael from Medium Rare Cards. And we need to reach through. My hand needs to go through. And there's Jacob. It's Cobb. We're coming to you live on a Wednesday. Gonna talk some shop. Hope everyone's doing good. Just finished a break this morning. Got another one posted. How are you guys doing? Who's got the rundown?
All right.
Jacob and his smooth, silky smooth baby skin.
All right. So we're going to catch up on our weekends like we always do. We're going to talk about the Dodgers versus the Cubs in Japan to kick off the MLB season. And then a wild Major League Baseball and Demon Slayer and Fortnite short film promoting the collab. Is this the kind of marketing that baseball needs? Then in hobby news, debut patches are officially coming to the NBA and NFL, and we take a look at the first sales of the Rock Cena Travis Scott Topps Now card, and is it performing as we expected? We'll also break down the 2025 Bowman design and the MLB's gold logo patch program that's replacing the MVP Buyback. As always, we'll tell you what's new in the shop, show off some hits, and wrap up with a crazy stat. But first, how was everybody's weekend?
But first, I need to find a crazy stat for the end of this podcast, if I don't have one already. My weekend was good, busy as always, but good. Let's see. Pro Touch Sports says hi. Hello, Pro Touch Sports cards. I don't even remember what I did this weekend because my life is a blur. So,
shop was busy.
Shop was busy. Yeah.
Good.
Slightly shorthanded. One of the guys was out of town. That's why it was a blur, because we were busy and down a man. So, yeah, all was good there. We're pre-selling Journey Together Pokemon booster boxes. That was up on the website. So we were doing that all weekend. We've got a few left. If anyone wants to guarantee themselves one, go over to the webpage. But, yeah, mine was good. Sunday, our washing machine broke, so I had to buy another washing machine. Yeah.
Josh, you got 5 kids to wash your clothes. Just put them to work.
Don't say that. My wife will be like, yeah, why am I doing it all? Although they're starting to do a little bit of theirs. Hey. Jeff H. What's up, Jeff?
You could just use your abs. Your washboard abs.
That's how I clean them, yeah.
So I traveled to Georgia this weekend to catch one of my kids play baseball. And I tell you, I don't think middle schoolers were this big when I was in middle school.
Probably not.
I was a big middle schooler. I was bigger than anybody in my class. I just stopped growing. But I was like a pretty fairly good-sized 8th grader. But some of these 8th graders are enormous. And they're throwing hard, man. Like, for real. And I mean, there were a couple guys when I was growing up that threw to where they were a little bit intimidating. Certainly bigger, faster, stronger, even in middle school. So,
yeah.
How about you, Jacob?
I was 6'2" in 8th grade, so
shut up.
So yeah, I didn't do anything this past weekend. Everybody was out of town, so I had to fill in the gaps.
Awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with gap filling. By the way, we're filling a break.
Jacob, save us. Give us a topic to talk about in the opening rip, for goodness sake.
All right, so the MLB season is kicking off in Japan. So we're going to talk about a couple nice collabs with Shohei Ohtani that are taking place. Pull up the video.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to just play the video in the background. We can talk over it. We don't have to watch it. But
all right.
First, do either one of you guys know what Demon Slayer is? Have you ever heard of Demon Slayer?
I have. It's an anime show, but I've never watched it. Right?
I've never watched it. Jacob, are you into anime?
I forced myself to learn a little bit about it because of how popular it is. My nephew is pretty big into it.
Well, if you guys are just listening, this is a post from Major League Baseball on their Instagram page. And apparently in this, I guess the artists or the animators for this anime series did a collab with Major League Baseball. They opened yesterday in Tokyo. There was a game between the Cubs and the Dodgers, and to help promote it, they wrote in this little short film and featured some of the players, including a sweet spot with Shohei. I thought this was super cool. I grew up, speaking of middle school, grew up watching a show called Robotech. Have you ever heard of Robotech?
I'm kind of surprised I haven't heard of it.
It was awesome. I was obsessed with it. So I've always been an anime fan. I wouldn't say I know anything about it, but I've always enjoyed the genre.
The art
What
style.
I'm interested in seeing is if there are going to be cards. It looks like there may be cards coming out based on this little short film. So
I mean, you got to
I would
assume
be-
if Topps sees it, they're going to say, "Oh, idea," and there will be cards.
yeah, it says product around the collaboration will be revealed soon. I can't wait because that would be super cool. I know that Leaf has an anime product
Yes.
that has done very well. It's highly collectible. It is a bummer that it's just going to be the Cubs and the Dodgers, and it's not going to be extended to the rest of the league. But hey, Shohei
there were
and company.
there were trading cards around. I believe it was My Hero Academia 1 or 2 years ago, and One Piece, and people were going absolutely ballistic for those sets. But like, there not many people distribute them in the States, so they were a pain to get a hold of, which then of course drove up the price.
Yeah.
But that's not the only baseball collab that we saw over the weekend.
What do you
It's
got
not.
for us, Jacob?
I was gap filling, as Josh likes to call it, and I noticed that this guy popped up in Fortnite over the weekend, or what was it? Actually, it was 2 days ago, and he has like a super samurai version of him, and then an anime inspired baseball skin. Also,
Oh my gosh. And only a couple million people play Fortnite every minute. So
Yeah. The only reason I knew about this was because I went into my man cave to play a real game, Call of Duty, and my 12-year-old had been playing in there, and it was on the Fortnite loading screen or the home screen, and it had Ohtani on there. I was like, of course. That's pretty cool, though. I'll give them that.
They've only had one. They had like an overall NFL collab with like the teams, and then they had a Patrick Mahomes, and then for NBA they had LeBron James, and this is the first baseball one.
yes,
So that's pretty big.
it is huge. He is starting to really transcend. Like now, folks that don't follow baseball are going to start hearing about Shohei Ohtani. That's a bit of the Tiger Woods effect there, to where people who didn't really watch golf knew who Tiger Woods was, and so he's getting to that point, if not already at that point. So good for him. Good for him. I know that they have Fortnite cards, right, Josh? You've sold some in the shop.
Yeah, they a few years back they released some. It didn't take off like we had hoped, so we kind of just slowly sold out of it and moved on. But we'll see.
Who
We'll see.
knows?
Maybe if that makes a resurgence at some point.
This may bring it back. So super exciting, super cool. Guys, let us know what you think. I mean, I know some folks in that listen probably like either anime or like Fortnite. What do you guys think about this? Should baseball players sort of stay in their lane? Should sports players stay in their lane and not dabble in this? Or do you think this is a good thing for both products?
I love a good collaboration.
Yeah, me too. Especially when it's done well. Like I said, I can't wait to see what the anime cards look like coming out of the Tokyo series.
What is your favorite anime show or top? If you can't narrow it down to one, what's 2 or 3 that you really liked or like? And I'll tell you mine.
Like I said, Robotech was the one from my childhood, and then there was an anime. I don't know if it was a full-length film but wasn't there an anime release of like a chapter of The Matrix? Right? Correct me if I'm wrong in here, chat.
Could be.
I know that there was one, and so I really enjoyed that one. But like I said, it's not super educated on it. How about you?
Jacob, you're a huge nerd. Which one do you?
Figuratively,
I do have a couple that I
and
really liked.
As far as,
literally.
anime, like the definition of anime, I don't like keep up with them entirely. I know characters, I know a little bit about. I like the character design and like powers in My Hero, but something that's kind of anime adjacent that has been my personality for like the last 20 years is Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's kind of that same art style, same powers.
Yeah.
I've loved that ever since.
Yeah, so I'm not into anime at all, but I did get hooked on One Punch
Onyx.
Man. I haven't got there yet. One Punch Man. And my kids tease me when I don't have any facial hair and I have a shaved head. They call me One Punch Man because he's completely bald. And then and I'm like, yeah, come here, I'll show you. I'll give you one punch.
Come here, I'll give you. I'll be a 2-punch man.
And then Full Metal Alchemist, I watched that, got hooked, and so like those two shows, for some reason I got hooked. Watched all the way through, loved them, and then I was like, I guess I do like anime. So then I would try getting into some others, and I just couldn't get into them. So I'm open to the right one. I don't have a ton of downtime also, but yeah.
Netflix has a good library.
They do.
That's usually where I catch it. If I do catch it, I don't know about the other streaming platforms, but I know Netflix does anime right. So
if you can get past the animated part of it, the storytelling will hook you in, and that's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
But
there's another one I watched that I can't remember. It's about like these gangs at school, but they're like they're like gang wars, and it's I watched it like all the way through, and it was like about one of the kids is kind of being torn in between the two gangs, and they had really cool characters in each one, and it wasn't like, and they were like almost killing each other type gangs. I can't remember. I think it's a famous one as well that I can't remember.
Boys in the Hood.
No. It might be Tokyo Revengers. Click on that one. That's what it is.
Tokyo Revengers.
And it's been gangs that are more. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That one was actually really good if you start from the beginning. I never thought I would ever catch myself watching full-on anime seasons, but that's another one. Full Metal Alchemist, One Punch Man, and Tokyo Avengers.
I'll have to look into it. Josh,
now
what is hitting the shelves at Grand Slam?
I sent you can throw them up on the screen. A couple, two things that launched today. This is cool. Dynamite Wildcard Football. So every card, if I remember right, is numbered to 25 or less.
Wow.
There are 3 autos per case. So 1 in every 4 boxes has an autograph. All the autos, I think, are numbered to 3 or less. And the card design is really cool, and it's not super expensive.
You posted some on Facebook, I think. Some of the card designs.
Only I took a picture that you're seeing now on the screen, and then I took a picture of the back of the box, which shows some of the card design too. So I have not personally seen any opened yet, but I've been doing the break this morning, been over here. So, and then the bigger release today, that one, Star Wars Topps Chrome Black, is on the shelves, launched today. So if you are a Star Wars card fan, come get it while we got it, because it doesn't ever seem to last too long. This Friday, I don't have pictures yet because they're not here yet, but probably one of the best Leaf football products every year, but I think this is only the second year. So the way it sold last year was nuts, and it was hard to find. Once it was gone, and people were asking about more of it. It is Leaf Eclectic Football. I don't know if y'all remember that, but it was kind of loaded last year, and Leaf did an awesome job with it. So they do hobbies and jumbos of that product. That comes out Friday. We'll have it in the shop and on the shelves Friday. And another one is this year's Zenith Football Hobby. Comes out Friday. So we'll have both of those, plus a bunch of fill-in stuff that's on that same shipment. This came out yesterday, if you're seeing the screen. These are the Top Series 1 tins. They aligned it with Easter this year, and the tins are in the form of giant Easter eggs. So they're not expensive. They look cool. And if you're a parent and you do an Easter basket for your kids that are into sports cards, this one is a no-brainer. I think they're $19.99.
Josh, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Are there 10 specific or 10 exclusive parallels? Do you know?
I think there are. I don't know that for a fact. We could probably find that out pretty quickly. I know in the packs, obviously, you can get autographs if you're lucky and stuff like that. But yeah.
I'm looking at the Topps Chrome Black checklist, and the autograph checklist is pretty good. Hayden Christensen is in there. Ewan McGregor is on the checklist. Felicity Jones. Wait a minute. Freddie Prinze Jr. was in a Star Wars show or movie. I didn't even think he was doing anything.
He was Jar Jar Binks, wasn't he? I'm just kidding.
Harrison Ford is on the autograph checklist. Let's see. Keira Knightley, Kerry Russell, Mark Hamill.
So it's got the hits.
Oh yeah, Pedro Pascal, Oster Isaac, Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte, like the Nick Nolte.
Oh, yeah, didn't he do? I can't remember. Maybe
I don't know.
Wasn't he in?
He was cool. I don't know. Rosario Dawson, Samuel L. Jackson is in here. So
it sounds like it's got all the big boys and all the big girls.
Big boys. Adam Driver is in there. Just looking through this.
I'm going to sound very insensitive right now. Is James Earl Jones in it, or is he dead?
He's dead.
Okay.
He's dead.
Freddie Prinze Jr. was a voice actor for Star Wars Rebels, which is one of
There
their
we go.
more popular animated.
That's right. Nick Nolte has a very distinct voice. I wonder if he was a voice actor in one of those animated ones.
We'll find out real fast.
Ray Park.
Ah, that Darth Maul, right?
He was not an animated character.
No.
He was.
So a lot of great autos in this product. But even if you don't hit, and they've got dual autos, they've got triple autos. Wow. So Daisy Ridley, who is Ray, she's only in the triple autograph.
Wow.
So just that'll be a tough hit, but an enormous hit. So love that product. Like Josh said, usually doesn't last long on his shelves. So go get yourself some. Cool.
Yep. And if you see the ticker at the bottom, if you're watching, just posted another football break. These are just fun $29 breaks that don't break the bank and have a potentially nice high ceiling. 2 hobby boxes of Illusions football and 2 mega boxes of this year's Prism football. I haven't really advertised it yet. We just threw it up there. I think a couple spots are already sold. But yeah, I didn't do the greatest job advertising the last one. That's the only reason it filled a little slower than usual, but these usually fill pretty quick. So
in any of these breaks, have you seen any really big Bo Nix cards come out, Josh?
I mean, in the shop, I have for sure. I think we pull out this morning. I pulled a number to 50 insert rookie of Bows out of Illusions.
Okay.
I mean,
the only reason why
$29, that's probably $100 card. So
yeah,
I mean,
the only he had a quick stint at Auburn, then he went off to Oregon. But I was at Auburn when his dad was the quarterback at Auburn, Patrick Nix. So
cool.
connection.
I do
there.
have, before we get into another topic, James, one of my local customers and longtime listener, maybe not longtime listener, but a listener, he wanted us to answer something on the pod or get your thoughts on it. And he texted me, and it was this. It says, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts about the tag pricing changes, as well as the ever popular question I get in the shop. And it's always debated. Do you grade a 1 of 1? I know we've talked about that in a little bit in the past, but I can give thoughts on that. For tag grading, I think he's probably referring to the fact that their price is much more affordable now. I hope that's what he means, because I used to think it was like, oh, it's $50 a card if you want one graded, but it's a really cool slab and it's AI done and they give you a ton of information on the card. But the last time I looked, I was like, oh, wow, they do a value bulk for $15 a card and
No way.
a regular for $25 a card. The value bulk is 30 days. The regular is 15 days. If I had one wish in the grading industry, it was that tag would rise to the top, because they are, when you grade with tag on the back of the slab, there's a QR code. You scan that QR code, it takes you to all the information about that card and all the information about the defects of the card. It'll show you every scratch and every nick and every reason that the card was docked by the grader. So I think it gives subgrades too. The acrylic is laser etched, so there's no little paper label in there. The label is laser etched onto the acrylic. One of the best looking.
Easily.
Thank you, James, for reminding us to talk about tag, because they're one of my, every big show I go to that I know tag will be there, I always drop some cards off with them, because I just want in those slabs. And now that they do $15 grading, this should probably be one that Grand Slam starts submitting to for customers on a regular basis, but customers should definitely check them out.
I will say the $15 grading, there is a 20 card minimum on that. So
Which
if
is
you
why
bump
it's
it up
the
to
bulk. Yeah.
Yeah. So so that would make sense if Grand Slam started doing this to be able to get that rate. So I agree. I mean, tag, if you're a fan of tens, probably not going to happen with tags grading system, because they're very, very tough. I don't know if there's ever been a 10. But if you're a fan of technology and moving technology forward and grading and an experience, right? They send these cards back to you in a pack that you rip and reveal the grades. So super cool. Thank you for the question. I think we have another question in the comments, Jacob.
Oh, I got to answer that 1 of 1 question too. So I'll give both sides of that debate.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the 1 of 1 question? Do you grade a 1 of 1?
So yeah, here's Sleeve It Sports Card gives his opinion. Grade 1 of 1s as authentic, in my opinion. So here's my opinion. The idea behind not grading a 1 of 1 comes obviously from the fact that it's a 1 of 1. It's the only card. You get to set the price if you're selling it. So while that's true, here's the other side to that coin. There's a lot of 1 of 1s out there for players, and one might be the purple 1 of 1 and one might be the black 1 of 1 or whatever. So if I usually tell customers that are debating in store, if you think you've got a legit shot at a 10, then it might be worth it, because when someone's shopping for a Bo Nix 1 of 1, for instance, they might lean towards yours that's a graded 10 in the slab over someone else's raw one. That might be one reason why. I think if you don't get a 10, I think it kind of just waters the card down a little bit. Maybe that's probably why Sleeve It Sports Cards thought of just get it authenticated. My only argument to that is it's already authenticated by the company that produces the card. And unless it was lesser known brand or something like that, I don't see the reason. And sometimes people just want them in a slab. So that's a great reason. That I would guess that's what Sleeve It Sports Cards means. Just graded authentic, put it in a slab, then it's protected and permanent. But I'm always like, if you're going to grade a card, get a number on it and shoot for the 10. Otherwise, put it in a nice case that displays it and makes it look really nice and sell it that way.
What are they called? The slab mags?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of different magnetic type cases that look really cool. They're not permanent, but yeah. I've always sided on the don't grade it unless you just it's flawless and you look like you can get, because then you got a 1 of 1 of that player and it's a 10. Doesn't get any better than that, and it would give you an edge on selling it for sure. But if you don't get a 10, you can see some dings or some off center or something like that. I would probably not grade it. That's not rocket science, but
great question though. It's one we get a lot. So
here's Nathan saying he's heard there are issues with the integrity of the slab for tag can be opened easily. Yeah, I hadn't heard that. That would be a little, if you can open it and close it without it being detected, that's scary. I'll ask Tag the next big show they're at. I'll pick their brains because as soon as their company hears that is the case, you have to think they scrambled to solve that. It's like when iPhones get jailbroken back in the day, and as soon as a jailbreaker cracks that code, Apple scrambles to patch it. So, here Nathan said, here's the response to their criticism. I can't click that link at this moment, but if
I saw the post that Nathan's talking about. I saw it, but I didn't read it. It just flashed through my feed. I didn't dig into it, but I did see that.
Yeah, ooh. I mean, hopefully they're smart enough to figure that out to know that these things, if you get them open, it's because you destroyed the case, and there ain't no slipping a new card back in there. Hopefully that's the way.
All right. Hey, let's play the promo spot and then hop into hobby news afterwards.
Are you looking to get your cards graded? Well, here at Grand Slam, we've simplified the process of submitting and getting a card graded. All you have to do is drop off your cards and kick your feet up, while our transparent tracking ensures that you are up to date with every detail along the way. When you log into our website, you'll immediately be greeted with each card in the grading process, along with where it's at in the process and its final grade. And with over 1,000 submissions and some of the top cards across the country being submitted through us, we have become a well-trusted source to handle and submit your cards. So you can do more collecting and leave the chore of grading to us. So don't sit on grading your cards. Get them submitted today at Grand Slam, where grading's made easy.
All right, Jacob.
Hopefully, coming soon, Tag.
What's our first hobby news story, Jacob?
First topic is something we can fly through. It is the triple card or the triple auto card from Topps Slam or Topps Now of John Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott, and how they are selling so far.
So, real quick, did we establish the base cards we're selling for about $12, right?
Yeah.
Here it looks like less than 8.
Well, no, like when you bought them from Topps, they were $12.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
So already a base card out of a pack, you're not getting $8 for it. So
which you have to assume because it's 12 because you got an autographed shot. It's just like buying a box of cards.
Right.
You're probably not getting your money back, but you could hit something big.
Right.
I mean, that's no secret.
Or you can make your own slabs, throw a 10 on it, and do a pre-sale.
And there will be some idiot out there that'll buy it.
I've always had a problem with people. Like, I understand why they choose the image, but it gets people into thinking. I don't know. And then you got $81 for a base card. Most likely. Let's be honest.
Likely.
Yeah.
What are the autos selling? The base autos selling for? Can you scroll to the top or either?
I don't think they're in hand yet.
Oh, these are all
pre-sales.
These are pre-sales.
Yeah. So
What?
people are like, if you want the base card, I'll sell it to you for $6, I guess.
I think we should check back though when numbered variants and the auto pops up just to see what they look like.
Yeah, I see a bunch of returns here. I see. I did. I thought these were in hand.
No,
So
This
these
is
are
pre-sales.
all pre-sales.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I probably am one of the idiots we're talking about. But yeah,
No, like you bring up a good point though, because people are getting tricked essentially if they don't read. People most of the time don't read descriptions. It's $76 on a base card.
Yeah, I can tell you a quick story of an idiotic move I made when I hadn't been doing this for very long. So it was, I don't know, 6 years ago. I jumped on eBay. I wanted to buy a tobacco card, and there was a Ty Cobb beat up tobacco card for $8. And I quickly went, oh, buy, click, bought it. And then you read close and it's a reprint, obviously. But they made this reprint. It was made to look worn and weathered. And so here's what I did with the card. The story of what I did with the card is even funnier. But I said, yep, I'm that idiot that didn't read the description and bought it too quickly, but got the card in. What we did one day is we got an actual rip card that had been carefully opened. And I put the Ty Cobb card, because it's tobacco card size. So I put it perfectly down into the rip card. We put it into the top loader, and we knew one of our friends that we always teased and pranked was coming through the door big into cards. And so we saw him pull up, and we just all stood there at the counter as if I was just getting ready to open this. And then as the door opens and we see him, and I won't even call out his name, but I said, so-and-so, and they're like, hey, check it out. He's ripping this rip card. I was just getting ready to, and I got it. He comes over and I fake rip it, slowly show him what it is. And he says, that's an old tobacco card. And I pull it out, and it's Ty Cobb. It looks real. It's worn. It's weathered. And he said, that's a huge card. And then we said, just kidding. So yeah, that's the stuff we do when we're bored at the card shop. And you've wasted $8 on a fake Ty Cobb.
There you go. Well, I did not. I was like one of the fools. I saw the headline and I saw your photo. I thought these were in hand. There's no way people are going to go through with these sales, right?
I need to read the descriptions, because if you're dumb enough to think you can buy someone's shot at it, and you think they're not going to figure out if they got that autograph first and then send it to you, I don't get it. But
these are not going to go through.
All right, I haven't really.
An autographed or numbered card is not guaranteed. One base card is guaranteed.
So here, yeah, the only way they can do this is, here's what it is. There were a limited run. The people that, dang, I missed out. So someone's going to sell their purchase. It's like buying a concert ticket. I missed out. It sold out. I'll sell my concert ticket for a little more or less. But you have to really trust that person's going to really send you an unopened one. Because what if you sell that for $76 and your person says, hey, I got the package today and opened it. I hit the one of $1 million card. Yeah,
there's going to be a whole lot more people spending $80 on a base card and clicking item not as described.
Well, the sad thing about it is that's the sold listings, but there are current people like bidding on these cards.
Yeah,
as well.
Folks, stop, folks. And $13.99. Stop, folks. Don't. What in the world?
What, this one's up to $61 already.
Yes, because they're misrepresenting it. They're putting the autoed card there.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Our next story is Bowman's first look. You guys know more about this than I do, that's for sure.
I love this. I love this design. Now,
this is a good design.
Yeah. Now, this is a color match auto, so who knows what the base cards will look like. And this kid's ripping the cover off the ball in the preseason, by the way.
I've heard.
But him and Bobby Witt on the same team, not bad. But I love this design. Look at that.
Yeah, great. The red Bowman at the bottom sets this thing off. Like,
yeah. It's really cool. Keep scrolling through, Jacob. So this is Bowman Chrome.
Was that last guy's name Jesus Made? Man.
Yeah, that's why I stopped on it. I was like, what?
That's a name right there.
Water into wine. They should put that at the bottom. That should be the inscription.
Or me. Jesus made me.
So they're only showing the Chrome versions of this, which you will get some Chrome in Bowman Baseball as inserts. But crazy about this design. I love it. I can't wait. Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft. Still my favorite releases of the year. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up with that.
One quick note, as I've noticed, I don't know why, but it seems like they give them the out of 150s most of the time, because that's where you see most of the My First Bowman autos. I've seen that across sports. That's where most of the inscriptions are, is the 1 of 150.
Interesting theory.
Just
is that something that you're seeing?
Yeah,
or you're seeing people post about that,
and you guys are more in tune with this than I am, and I've noticed that just kind of passing by.
I don't know why they would pick the 150.
My theory might be that anything below 150 is valuable because it's below 150, and so you don't need to juice up a number to 25 card or a number.
Right.
That's just a theory, and that this is a way to add some excitement for chasing a little bit higher numbered card, but that's just totally a theory.
Yeah. Can't wait. Bowman releases when? Should be soon, right?
It's not super soon because
I know Bowman Chrome traditionally releases in July. Like that's a midsummer release. This is probably coming, right?
I mean, it's not on the calendar yet. I would think May.
Okay.
There's just a quick example pulled up real fast. The 1 of 150, My First Bowman auto. But that's the story.
Heck, I don't care what serial number they put it on. I love that.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Very cool.
All right. Our next story is the gold MLB logos.
So when I saw this, I did not realize until you said it, Jacob, that this is replacing the MVP buyback program. That's not right.
Yeah,
so
right, but
I've noticed that they talked about the, of course, WWE Topps buyback program for the Royal Rumble winners, I believe it was, and then that got silently kind of pushed aside and hasn't been brought up, and you can't really find much information on it anymore. So I don't know. I guess they're restructuring the whole thing. I don't know.
Josh, you obviously you're a card shop owner. Would you be sad? Would it have a tremendous effect on business if they did away with the buyback program? Because that was not just for collectors but for shops, correct?
I wouldn't be sad because I haven't been selected as a buyback store yet, but
interesting.
I would be surprised if I'm not this upcoming year. So
right.
I'm not a big fan of all the hoops they make you jump through from what I hear. So
on the store side.
On the store side, yeah.
Okay.
I like them. Here's a way to make it better, and this is just because it takes us out of the equation. Put certain players' cards chaseable in there so that you can send them to Topps, and Topps can pay you out in product.
Right.
So quit making the shops be the middleman, and and then they have to wait for their money. Some shops that are smaller, like myself, might not be able to wait for thousands and thousands of dollars to be paid back by Topps.
Yeah.
Just my thought. But I do like the idea of there being a chase for those MVP players in sorts. I love the idea of the gold logos here because when you watch the games on TV, you'll probably be able to see those gold logos.
Well, I posted it in our private chat, in our group chat. Shohei wore his last night. His jersey had this gold patch on it.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's like, isn't it 6 players and they each have 6 jerseys, or wasn't there a limited number of jerseys?
There it is.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, to be able to see that and how it translates to the cards is cool.
So go back to the first. So it is Aaron Judge, Shohei, Skeens, Luis Gill, Tarek Skubal, and Chris Sale. And I think these were the award winners, correct?
Yeah.
So Aaron Judge, Shohei were the MVPs. Paul Skeens and Luis Gill, what were they?
Well, Skeens would have been Rookie of the Year.
So Luis Gill was a Rookie of the Year in the American League, I guess. And then Tariq Skubal and Chris Sale won the Cy Young Awards, I'm guessing.
I think that is correct. That is
so all the award winners.
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, Luis Gill is a controversial pick, according to Josh's favorite place. I have 2 comments here. Tried to sneak Luis Gill in there, I see, and Gill going to be wearing that in AAA when he gets sent back down.
I myself hope they don't do away with the MVP buyback program. I think it adds value to the Topps Chrome brand and adds value to the retail product, because you could always sort of get your money out of that if you pull just a base card of that. And I think that's just good for not just the collectors, but the shops. I haven't seen the buyback autos come out though.
No, I don't think I have either.
So from any year, have you seen it from any that they've had the MVP buyback program for a couple years now? I don't know when those are going to resurface. So, but wow, imagine pulling this thing. And they're not showing what product this is coming out of, but if he just wore it and then he'll sign this card, I wonder if they're going to seed different products with this card in it as the chase.
Well, the comments think it'll be in a hobby box that starts at $800.
No, the comments typically believe it's going to be pulled from a breaker. That's usually where they.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring up Bowman again.
I did a little bit more research while the guys were talking about it, and this is what I meant by the 1 of 150 is typically my first Bowman auto. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, you're not crazy. Michael, Jacob's like, Joe Rogan has Jamie. Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched this? Jacob, you're our Jamie. Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie. Maybe because the blue ink looks great.
I just think it might be the first stack they hand them.
Well, yeah, there's probably a reason behind why 150s are the first stack they hand them.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it's the highest now because the refractors are $4.99. So
$4.99.
maybe it's like the highest numbered one, so they print those first or something. But
maybe
I'm gonna go with my theory. They want to add juice to the higher numbered one. But I do like your blue ink theory.
The blue ink looks good. All right, our final story is something that we have been speculative of, and I've been calling, and now they've confirmed it. So it says here, according to Fanatics Collectibles CEO Mike Mahan on the Jeff Wilson Show, debut patches are expected to expand to NBA and NFL cards once those licenses take effect. Fanatics takes over NBA cards in October of 2025 and NFL cards in early 2026. Wow. And
So you heard it here
the,
first.
The title of this episode was this is not your grandfather's RPA. And the artwork was the Luca RPA. And for you guys who are new to the hobby, RPA is rookie patch auto. I had to learn what that was back in 2020 when I got back into collecting, and that from then until now is still the collected card across all sports. Am I wrong about that, Josh?
No, you're not wrong. For sure, football, basketball.
Right. And then there's the Topps Dynasty product that has would consider those.
It's a little more muddied on the baseball side, but it doesn't mean that's just for the true RPA. But anyone is an RPA, like a rookie patch auto. Any card that's a rookie patch auto is just shortened to RPA. So we pulled 2 in the break this morning, 2 RPAs,
right.
But they call that true RPA out of National Treasures for basketball and football.
Yeah. And so we featured the Skeens and Jackson Holiday the debut patch. I think this takes over as the most sought after RPA, and I don't think it'll even be close because those RPAs out of the other brands, I don't even think those are necessarily game worn.
That's the big kicker.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
Not from any specific event, player, or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one thing that I would want some input on is the debut patch going to be more sought after than the Shield or the Logo Man?
Maybe you could put it up there in that.
I think we needed to see the design because the debut patch here is kind of shaped like a baseball diamond, and I think we need to see what the NFL and NBA logos look like before you worry about that.
And for me, I was thinking about this. They're gonna have to sew that NFL one on. Because if not, that could end up in somebody's hand halfway through the game.
Yeah.
So, or put it somewhere. I don't know where they're going to put it.
Well, good thing they don't have to worry about that in the NBA with LeBron, or his would just fall off on the ground.
Oh,
Jacob getting spicy.
Shots fired. So, yeah, I couldn't venture to guess who the top rookies in either sport are going to be next year. Maybe Cooper Flagg. He was just injured. So, but on the NFL side, probably some quarterback. So I'm not really sure. But I know that this may impact, or maybe I'll throw this out there. Is this going to impact the value of the old RPAs, the National Treasures, the Flawless? Do you think this casts a big enough shadow to where the value of those cards starts to diminish?
I think like other categories we've talked about, I think it's like, will Prism lose its luster when it's unlicensed? Will old Prism lose its luster? No, I don't think it will. I think it gets kind of grandfathered in is because they didn't have, if they had both of them and one, obviously, but no, I don't think it is, because that was it's like, will Jaden Daniels' licensed autos from Topps be worth more than his rookie year unlicensed auto? Well, no, because it's still the only rookie auto he has. It's unlicensed, so it just is what it is, and it keeps its value because of that. Because those debut patches weren't around, I think those others maintain their value.
Well, your former legends and current active legends aren't going to have these, so those will
No,
still
but they
have
could.
some weight to
They
them.
could have final game.
Well, that would be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
Like final game. Maybe teams wear these patches in a game 7, and you can pull those. That'd be quite a set to put together. There's all kinds of use cases for this.
yeah.
I'm just, it just seems like it was such a long time ago when Topps made the announcement that they gobbled up these licenses. And to read here that NBA cards will be fully licensed and produced, like Topps Chrome NBA is going to be a licensed product this fall, is bananas to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you got people in the comments complaining about them being a monopoly at this point, but Fanatics is just taking over sports, and from the big leagues to the even small stuff. And then people also have a sour taste in their mouth from Panini's customer service over the years. And Topps doesn't have that issue right now. They might when they keep getting bigger and bigger, but
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think Fanatics has this thing figured out. And they're
also, it's kind of hard to complain about a monopoly if they're firing on all cylinders and everything's coming out great.
Yep. People complain about monopolies all the time. They can complain and complain and complain and moan and groan about it. But there's a reason why they're a monopoly.
Yeah.
Because they're doing enough right things and treating enough people the right way.
Yeah. If they're not doing any good, that people won't buy from them, and they'll go out of business organically. So, it's true.
Right. Josh, do you have any cards from the vault or hits from the shop to show off, or do we need to just jump straight into crazy stat, which I have, and then you poo-pooed it because you're like, oh, we've already done those. They're all Barry Bonds.
I have a crazy stat that a viewer sent us. So when I couldn't find one, I was like, ooh, looky there.
Hold on. Let me jump in here. I very rarely do I do my homework for this show. So, Jacob, I put that link in the show notes. Let's see how many of these we've actually covered. How many of these that you have brought to the show?
I think most all of them, but always good. We always forget. People forget. Never hurts to be reminded. And
all right.
Yeah.
Let's take these one at a time. So Bonds was intentionally walked with the bases empty 41 times in his career. The next closest player was Mark McGwire. I don't know if we've done that one.
We didn't do that one. We probably talked about how he probably leads the league in getting intentionally walked with the bases loaded, which is just bananas. Steal your word.
Mm-hmm. Bonds drew 1,870 unintentional walks and 688 intentional walks in his career, meaning he walked, 43 miles as a major leaguer.
Yeah, that's
Go ahead to the next one. I think you've said this one before. His combined home runs were 22.8 miles. Keep going. Fly through these. If you hit 50 home runs for 15 straight seasons, you would still be 12 home runs short of Bonds' home run record. Go get him, Shohei. 49% of Bonds' career hits were extra base hits. From 2001 to 2004, Bonds reached base in 94% of his games. 26.3% of Bonds' at-bats ended in a home run or a walk.
So
1 out of 4. In 2004, it would have taken Bonds 186 consecutive outs to drop his on-base percentage from 609 to 469.
Yeah,
And
to
the last
to
one,
next
if you stripped Bond's stats, if you stripped all of Bond's stats from his 7 MVP seasons, he would still have 440 home runs, 359 stolen bases, which no other player has.
I mean, if
Play
there's
hard,
Yeah.
Shohei. Play
if
hard.
there, Shohei ain't going to do it. He gets injured way too often. Barry
That's what he
Bonds
needs
is the
steroids
greatest
for.
hitter of all time. There's no doubt in my mind, and he's the only one. There's your proof right there. Take 7 MVP seasons away from him, some on which he was probably on steroids, and some where he for sure wasn't because he was so young, and he's still a Hall of Famer. Put him in.
There's a lot of love for him in the comments. A lot of people
Yes.
defending him, saying like, "Yeah, he might be juiced, but that doesn't make you hit the ball. You still got to hit the thing."
Yep.
Yeah.
But it does lend to his longevity.
That
I mean, the steroid piece means he recovers faster. I mean, he may have been digged up, but when you're on the juice, you get over those bumps and bruises way quicker, get back in the batting cage.
I
So
want some juice.
let's do it.
I play basketball on Monday nights, and I'm usually in pain for a week. I need some juice. But I don't want a needle in the butt. Isn't that how you have to have it done?
Michael's secret juice from Space Jam.
There you go. There you go. No
All right.
needles in the butt here.
My stat is from Jay, who we all know and love. He sent this one to me via text message. The most touchdowns in NFL history of 10 plus yards, Barry Sanders with 51. The most touchdowns in NFL history of 15 plus yards, Barry Sanders with 41. Most touchdowns of 20 plus yards, Barry Sanders with 30. 25 plus yard touchdowns in history, Barry Sanders with 27. And 30 plus yard touchdowns in NFL history. Guess who? Barry Sanders.
Mr. Sanders.
That's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. And to think that he walked away from the game on his own terms is probably the coolest thing about him.
When he had plenty of gas left in the tank.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Josh, thanks for joining us. Jacob, thanks for producing. And guys, if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you like what we're doing. And we will see you guys next week. See ya.
Peace.